Sea Otter versus Giant Otter. Who would win? Kids go to the aquarium and they see the otters behind the glass, floating on their backs and holding shells. So adorable! They hope they can get an otter stuffed animal from the gift shop. But did you know that some otters out there, they are ruthless? They aren't all the cuddly water pups we like to believe them to be. They are opportunistic carnivores after all, so some of these otters out in the wild, they are downright mean. We have an all-otter matchup for you today. It's the Sea Otter versus the Giant Otter. They both want to claim the title as best otter. They want to show you that they are the one and only, and there's no otter choice. Otters. There's quite a few different species of otter living in the world today, 13 to be exact. So when you're at the aquarium, who knows which kind you might see, but there's a good chance it's one of the other 11. There are a couple of river otters, a hairy-nosed otter, a Eurasian otter, the Congo clawless otter, and the smallest otter of them all, the Asian small clawed otter. Otters live in a family known as Mustelidae. Other animals found in this family are weasels, wolverines, badgers, and mink. Of all the animals in the Mustelidae family, only a few are aquatic to some degree, most of which being otters. The subfamily they are a part of is called Lutrinae, and every one of the 13 otters in the Lutrinae subfamily is either semi-aquatic, aquatic, or marine. So, depending on the species of otter, they may live a balanced life between water and land, or they may spend far more time in the water. Either way, all otters are extremely capable in the water, but what we are hoping to find out today is which otter is more capable than the other. Which otter will emerge victorious? Sea otters. Of all 13 otter species, the sea otter is one of the largest when you look at its total length. You can expect a sea otter to be somewhere between 4 feet and 5 feet long, and when it comes to their weight, they aren't just the heaviest otter in the world, they're the heaviest weasels in the world. They can weigh up to 100 pounds. We mentioned before that all otters are either semi-aquatic, aquatic, or marine. Well, the sea otter is the only one that is a marine mammal. That means they can live their entire lives at sea, and they often do. However, they come onto the land occasionally, but it's not something they ever need to do. They can move around on land all right, but can also be somewhat clumsy. In the water is where they really shine, able to move around with precise moves, speed, and agility. They can hit speeds of up to 5.6 miles per hour, which isn't comparable to the speed of a shark, but it's still faster than humans. Most humans can't even get close to that, and the fastest human speed in water ever recorded was 5.05 miles per hour. The sea otter is quite different from most other marine mammals and much smaller. It is different in that its fur is the main source of insulation. The sea otter's coat of fur is not only extremely dense, it's actually the densest in the entire animal kingdom. That's some nice protection. Another thing that makes the sea otter so different is the level of intelligence it possesses. It's one of the few mammal species that actually uses tools, oftentimes using rocks to dislodge prey from hiding spots and open shells. Sea otters love a nice clam bake. They're big on mollusks, crustaceans, sea urchins, and even eat some kinds of fish. Their back feet are webbed, which aid in their excellent swimming ability. Their nostrils and ears can close completely while swimming, and with lungs about 2.5 times the size of similarly sized mammals, they can hold their breath for over 5 minutes underwater. Sea otters have also been known to dive to depths of up to 600 feet. They're masters of the ocean and even possess quite a different set of front limbs from most marine animals, having tough pads for gripping slippery prey and also retractable claws. And it's not just those retractable claws that can do damage. The sea otter has a bite force of around 615 psi. For reference, that's about the same force as the bite of a black bear. Sure, the mouth is smaller, but if it clamps down on you, you're surely going to feel that. Sea otters can be found in the Pacific Ocean, and they tend to stay within 2/3 of a mile of the coastline. There are large populations up near Russia and Canada, but sea otters can also be found off the coast of Japan and many places stretching down the western coastline of the US, and even as far south as Mexico. That's pretty far south, but is it far enough south so that they'd run into the otter we're looking at? Giant otters. As you can see, the range of the sea otter stretches down to Central America, but it doesn't quite make it to the habitats that giant otters are found in. For starters, giant otters are only found in South America, countries like Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru, to name a few. Additionally, giant otters don't inhabit the seas, they inhabit the rivers, especially the second biggest river in the world, the Amazon River. That's quite fitting considering this is the second heaviest otter in the world, and the biggest otter in the world if we're looking at length. Yes, the giant otter doesn't weigh as much as the sea otter, though he is quite a bit longer. Full-grown male giant otters are at minimum 5 feet long, and on average are 5 feet 7 inches long. They'll typically weigh around 70 pounds. They're muscular, but have a lean swimmer's build. Their feet are webbed and have claws as well. These excellent swimmers do a lot of hunting in the water, but they can move around just as well on land and do plenty of hunting on land as well. In the water, they can hunt in shallow waters and pounce on prey from above, or they can swim deep and attack from underneath, lunging, biting, twisting, inflicting serious pain on any animal unfortunate enough to get stuck in their path. And giant otters aren't only going after small animals to prey on, they'll go for larger animals as well. It isn't just about fish and crustaceans. They'll hunt snakes and sometimes even young caimans. This is where things get really interesting because giant otters will try to eat young caimans and caimans will try to eat young giant otters. You might think it's all over if a full-grown caiman goes after a young giant otter, but if that family is nearby, that battle is far from over. Giant otters have teamed up on giant caimans on several occasions, surrounding them, distracting them, delivering blows from multiple angles until they can finally all pounce, bite, slash, and attack the caiman until they've pulled its last breath out of its lungs. Yeah, so a group of giant otters is a very dangerous thing. And though giant otters hunt in groups, they also hunt solo. And that's what we're looking at here. Just one giant otter to match up against one sea otter. But still, to know they are so ruthless and lacking fear in a situation where they're faced against a caiman, but they would still run into battle and win. That tells you a lot about the ferocity of this particular otter. His bite is just as bad if he has used it to ward off caimans, and oh yeah, they've used their bites to chase away hungry jaguars too. Giant otters live in one of the scariest places in the world, the Amazon, and despite being an animal that is viewed as prey, they hold their own quite well. So, how will this otter fare in a fight with one of his own cousins? Otter battle. The audience of this battle has filled up. 11 different types of otters watching the two big boys of their animal family face off. But where is this audience situated? Has the stage been set? The sea otter and the giant otter don't exist in the same areas, so they wouldn't naturally run into one another. In all likelihood, they've never set their eyes on one another at any point. We'll try to set a fair playing field, so let's explore the areas where they live. Let's try to get the two to meet halfway. The sea otter will travel south, the giant otter will travel north, and a good midway point looks to be the country of Costa Rica. On the western coast of Costa Rica is the Gulf of Nicoya, and eventually flowing into that gulf is Rio Bebedero. Think we can get the ocean dweller and the river fellow to meet somewhere in that area? There's plenty of water, there's land surrounding, it's fair for both. Now when the two face off, the sea otter will immediately see the size advantage the giant otter has when it comes to length. He will have almost a foot of length on him, but what isn't quite as apparent is how densely packed that sea otter is. His weight is a bit deceptive, but he probably weighs 30 pounds more than the giant otter. The giant otter is the lean, agile fighter who will use that agility to maneuver his way towards the sea otter and deliver quick attacks, slashes and bites. But if the giant otter gets in close to the sea otter, his world may get rocked. The sea otter is a sturdy fellow, and with all that extra weight he can hit hard. His front paws have claws, and they're obviously nimble and dexterous, what with his ability to use tools. Who's to say he doesn't bring a rock to an otter fight? And as we mentioned before, get in too close and you might feel that bite force that's equal to a black bear. But the bite of the giant otter is deadly too. As you remember, and as all caimans remember, giant otters are not to be messed with, even if you are a 1,000-pound carnivorous reptile. If a group of giant otters are fearless and brutal enough to take down a caiman that's half a ton, then one giant otter can be extremely dangerous to the health and livelihood of a sea otter. Let's not forget, the sea otter basically lives his entire life in the ocean. He navigates the waters effortlessly, and he's able to swim speedily, twist, turn, and attack the giant otter from all angles. But there's a big difference between the two. The giant otter is also agile in the water, maybe even more so due to his body type. But the sea otter, though he does have to evade predators, doesn't quite have the same abilities. He isn't hunting anything bigger than a fish or a crab most times. The giant otter loves his seafood too, but he may go after snakes and other reptiles. He actually is a hunter, hunting from above, from below, oh yeah, and on land. If this fight ever makes it to the shore, the sea otter is done. Sure, he can get on the land and move around, clumsily. The giant otter would take full advantage of him in that area and dismantle him in minutes. In the water, it could go either way, but the giant otter still has the advantage. The giant otter would likely win this battle most days of the week. But don't let the sea otter fool you. He's a formidable opponent with a serious weight advantage and the know-how to continuously navigate the waters as he has his whole life. If he can manage to get the upper hand on the giant otter, if he can keep the fight close and use that 30-pound advantage, he could win. But you'd be wise to not bet your otter pops on him. They call the giant otter giant for a reason. Giant size, giant strength, and giant ferocity.